Hello and welcome to Outside In. My name is Steven, and the reason for this video is that a while back there was some comments made from people that had purchased an air quality monitor, and one of the person that was in the comments was concerned, but their concern was that their air quality was bad in their area. I believe they live in Canada, and their air quality was really poor. So they were excited about using their monitor when they got it in the mail, but they were concerned that they would not be able to calibrate it. So they wouldn't be able to use it for at least 2 or 3 weeks until the air cleared up enough to be able to do a proper calibration. When you first get a monitor and you open it up and you take it out of the packaging and you get it all ready to go, the first thing that you should do with a monitor, if you have the time, is to set it outside in fresh air and let it sit there without running it in a safe place for 6 hours or even a whole day if you can afford to do so. The longer you leave it out there, up to 24 hours, the best. Because what will happen is the fresh air will get inside of the monitor and it will clean out all the fumes that's been accumulated from processing, from transport, shipping containers, diesel trucks, vans, whatever it took to get to you. It's been through a lot of different environments. So there's a lot inside of these units that need to be cleared out. So more than a calibration, what you're doing in this step is just clearing it out. And that needs to be done, I would say, for at least 6 hours and up to 24 if you can. But while you're letting it sit there, you can be charging it up. And some of these monitors may take 6 or 7 hours to charge up completely. Once that manual calibration / clean is finished, then what you would want to do is get your manual, learn how to calibrate it, and it will walk you through step by step on how to calibrate the monitor, and do it on the outside or in a fresh air environment. Factory calibration and also the manual calibration / clean that I like to do. Now the manual calibration / clean should only have to be done one time when you first get the device, unless you are a person who uses an air quality monitor in the summer and you don't really worry that too much about the winter time, and then you package it up and store it for the winter. Now in those situations, if you're putting it back into the box, closing it all up and letting it set for 3 or 6 months, then when you take it back out of that box, you should then do another manual / clean for another 6 hours at least in fresh air, and then do another factory calibration. But if you're never going to store it, you should only have to do a manual calibration one time, and then just periodically, every few months maybe, do a factory calibration just to make sure everything is good. What I want to do here, now don't think I'm going to get hurt, but I'm intentionally making bad air quality in here for this test. I was going to do it outside, but I'm not going to say unfortunately, but our air quality has gotten better from the Canada wildfires, and it's going to be hard for me. I'm not God, so I can't make the whole air quality outside bad. So I thought the next best thing to do would be to force bad air quality inside of here, which I have successfully done. So there is bad air quality in here right now. Okay, so I'm going to take you through what I believe will absolutely work and should work for anybody who is living in a bad air quality environment and needs to do a factory calibration and or a manual calibration of their monitor to make sure that they get the best performance from it. Okay, this is my Levoit Core 300S air purifier. Now this is one of the things that you're going to need. Now I thought that there's going to be a lot of people that probably won't have an air purifier. Also, there are videos on YouTube that will show you how to use a box fan to make a DIY air purifier. Now you could try that as well, and it should work. It really should work using this technique that I'm going to show you. But anyway, let's get right to it. And I know I'm going to be out of frame for probably most of this. Now we'll just start here. The other thing that you're going to need, this is a clear plastic trash bag, and this is what you're going to need to be able to do this. Because what we're going to do is we're going to create a clean air environment inside this bag, along with the air purifier inside this bag, to be able to perform the calibration. And just to show you, hopefully you can see that this light is red, which means that my air quality is pretty bad right now because I've induced it. I created bad air in this environment to show you that this can be done. But like I said, I have not tried this yet, so we're going to find out together if this is actually going to work. But I really feel that it should work. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your trash bag, your clear trash bag, so you can see inside. Set it down on a table, or you can do this outside as well. But like I said, right now our air quality is pretty good, so I can't do this outside. But we want to set the air purifier inside the bag like this. What you'll need to do is what I'm going to have to do right now. That's unplug the air purifier, because we need to run the electric wire outside of the bag. So just take a bottom part of your bag and push your cord through a hole, make a hole to push your cord through. But don't make a really big hole because you don't want to contaminate the air inside it. And also what you can do is, we'll do that now. I'll go ahead and plug this back in. What you can do is get some trusty tape. You can use duct tape, whatever tape you have available. And just to be sure, you can tape up where your cord goes through the bag so you don't have any air leaks to get bad air into the bag. My light is still red because I'm keeping the air quality bad. Yeah, my air quality is really bad right now. And as you can see, our air quality is pretty bad right now in this room. This is the TemTop M10 air quality monitor. Now every monitor is going to be different on how you'll calibrate it. Just go and check your manual and it will give you instructions. But on the TemTop M10, see, I don't know if you can see that or not, there's a tiny little hole right there to the side of where you plug it in to charge it. And what you'll use for the M10 is one of these, like you would have for your cell phone, Android or Apple, to get out your SIM card. And that fits perfectly inside of that hole. And to make this go into calibration mode, you'll push this button in, it will start flashing. And that means it's in air quality mode. Now you don't want to start it out here in the bad air environment. You want it to start when the air quality is good. So what we need to do is we need to put this inside the bag. And then we need to take our bag and don't tie it tight, but just put some tape on it to kind of hold it together a little bit, because the air from the purifier will constantly be blowing out of the bag. All right, now let me bring you over here and look. I'm already at blue. So guess what? It worked. This is beautiful. Look, see where our air quality is now. It's down to 10, PM 2.5. All right, now thank you God. Thank you God that this worked. I am so excited it actually worked. Now I'm continuing to keep the air quality bad in this room, and in order to prove that, I'm putting this other monitor, the Air Night, out here so you can see. Hopefully you can see that. It's still at almost 500. So that is really bad air quality. So I'm going to try to keep that air quality the same in here during this whole test. Okay, now we're down to 4 and 3 already. And this is still over 400. Now I have to keep the air quality bad in here. Okay, see, we're down to 1 and 2. So this is where if outside air was good, then this is where it should be on your monitor, around 1, 2, 3, or 4. So what you're going to want to do is leave this in this bag with the air purifier running for your 6 hours or 24 if you can, to do the manual calibration. Now, something else you might want to do, I never even thought of this, is the bag is sucking into the holes. It might be a good idea before we close the bag up to stick something in there to keep this from clogging the holes in the air purifier. What you might want to actually do is take a small box that this would fit in with space around it that'll fit in this bag. Set the box in first, then put the air purifier inside the box and set the air quality monitor inside the box so it's not clogging up the holes on your air purifier. But now we're down to 1. So, and this is where you want it to stay, okay? Around 1 up to maybe 10 even. Let this run for like 6 hours or 24 if you can to do the manual calibration. Once that is finished, then is when you will perform the factory calibration. And one thing I forgot to do is tape this to the inside of the bag so you can grab a hold of it with your finger and then take it and press the button, put it in the hole. Because if I do it now, then I'm just going to punch a hole in the bag. Then you take your pin or however your monitor tells you to calibrate it and push in the button, like on this TemTop M10. All right, all you have to do is just put the pin inside that hole and just push it like a button. Just push it in there. And when it starts calibrating, I was wrong. It's not the numbers that flash. It switches over to formaldehyde reading and the HCHO starts flashing. And I believe that will flash for about 5 minutes, I think. It's how long it takes for it to calibrate. Once the flashing stops, all you have to do is just, well, that's it. Take it out of the bag and you're good to go. So thank you, God, that this worked. But like I said, it's definitely going to be better. I guess I should have tried this before because I'm finding now that you should use a box. Put a box inside the bag first and then set your air purifier inside the box and put your monitor inside the box as well. Your monitor, you might calibrate it by pushing buttons. Now this one here, I had to push a little indent button inside the unit, which I showed you on the TemTop M10. Now some of the other monitors, you just go through a series of buttons to activate the calibration mode. And then you can just easily, push the bag down to where your buttons are and push the appropriate buttons. But this is why you want to use a clear bag. Because if you use a black bag, obviously you won't be able to see the buttons, you won't be able to see the readings, you won't be able to see when it's actually calibrating and when it's finished. But like I say, once this flashing stops, then you will be calibrated and good to go. You can take it back out, put your bag away for the next time that you may need to do this. Or take it to a friend's house along with your purifier and do one for them as well if they don't have any way to do it on their own. So it's all about helping one another and being there for one another and sending our thoughts and prayers out to those who are in need. And then you just turn off your monitor when that's done and you're good. Okay, all right, we are finished now. Thank God this worked. Because like I said, I didn't try this before I did this video. Now I kind of sort of wish I had, because I would have found the box problem that I ran into. So yeah, just make sure you do this with a box. Put the box inside the bag, clear plastic bag, and then set your air purifier inside the box. That way, none of the holes can get clogged on your purifier, drawing in air to clean it. This is going to work beautifully. It's absolutely incredible. Thank you, God, so much that this worked, because I know this is going to help a lot of people that are run into a situation where they cannot calibrate their monitor correctly because of their air quality is bad. And before you think of it, because I thought of it myself, I was like, well, wait a minute. What about somebody that has a fish tank that they don't use, that's empty? They could use that, or some kind of a clear box. But here's the problem with that. You have to set everything inside this clear box, like an empty fish tank, with it covered, and set everything inside. But once the air quality gets down inside that environment, what do you have to do? Yeah, you have to open up the lid to then start the calibration process. But guess what now has happened? Now your air is polluted because you had to open the lid. So I don't think that using a fish tank is really going to work that well, because you need to start the calibration process while you are currently in fresh air environment. So that's why a plastic bag is absolutely perfect for this chore. Now, you may also want to, after you've put a box inside your bag, set your purifier inside the box, you might want to put in a pedestal that will be easier accessible to the top of your box instead of down inside the box, trying to get to it through the bag, by pushing the bag just bring it up to the surface or above the surface of the box with a pedestal, so that way you can access the functions of your device to start the calibration process. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Find somebody that needs a reason to go on and give them that reason. God bless us, everyone. And I will see you in the next one.